left foot in the right box, and right in the right.
Okay. Ready to go?
There's no electric shocks around that coming through.
Oh, come on.
The difference between measurements now and the measurement used to do, back to the collapse days, is pressure in your feet. So this is where we'll always build in that sort of half size tolerance, if you like. So again, where you'll measure up is actually a touch longer. But again, we're building that tolerance. The 7.5 is pretty much exactly.
It is interesting you talk about the pressure because I know this is kind of sad, but it's kind of me. I was obviously taught how to tie my shoelaces. In terms of, you'll never see me tie my shoelaces unless I put. So I lift my foot up and press it on to put the pressure, to spread the foot, to the height, and then it just opens your shoe. Obviously, the shoe is tight, but then your foot relaxes and gives you the room. So you'll always see me on the first tee. I put my foot up in the bag and retie my lace, and everybody's like, "Oh, what's you doing?" But it's exactly for that reason.
I mean, we can probably talk you through a little bit more of this when we go back into studio. But where you used to wear a wide foot, I can understand that, particularly in hot climates when your foot's swelling up.
Yeah.
You maybe spent 4 or 5 weeks out on the road again. Your foot's probably feeling a little bit at that point. Now, what we were going to do when we go upstairs is we have both medium and wide. I get ready to get your feedback on. Is it a big enough difference? I think from what you're telling me, medium fit's probably the best option. Yeah. But if we did this after the round, back end of 2 or 3 weeks out in Dubai, I'm sure that actually wide fit might feel more comfortable then.
Yeah.
And again, your insole then is a huge impact on that as well.
What I'm finding is, so I'm doing some practice in bare feet, which is great for footwork.
Yep.
But obviously, my feet can't handle that. That's more warm up than I ever do. Because I normally just start off hitting balls. Strangely enough, this is one of my favorite warm ups that I'm going to do right now. I know you've prepared everything. I do it on a step. I'm going to do it slightly crossways. All right. So by doing it with an up step, this is the greatest and newest Paddy's golf tip. You can't footwork your feet in the right pressures. Because to get off, to get myself up, I have to push backwards. You'd never spin. Mm-hmm. If you're going up a step, you wouldn't spin. You'd push yourself out of the way, and to get this leg up, you have to rotate it. You'd never throw it out there. Okay. So the ultimate, always. Just make up the numbers. They're all 190 ball speed and dead straight. They can't actually. They're so fast you can't see them.
Right, Paddy. I'll give you contour then. That would probably be a good initial step from.
Do you want me to set TrackMan up to get numbers for you? Yeah, I don't know if you're seeing that. My feet are working good when I'm in my bare feet. There's no way. I'm sure that's going to hold on. I'm not going to roll out in my bare feet. That would be too much pressure. So what we'll see when we go up, hopefully, is that we'll see these probably won't roll as much, but then when I have more support and I can feel I can start digging into the ground more, I will roll my feet more. But then I've also found, so that gets my footwork working good, because there's nowhere to hide when you don't have shoes. Then I go in tennis shoes. So like you'll see yourself, I have the FootJoy
Contour?
Yeah, FootJoy Contour. So I'm faster. I'm a mile an hour faster in contour.
From base foot?
Or just mile an hour faster in contour. Right? Because again, my feet work well, but I can't play in them.
Right.
Because they don't have, like when I go on the golf course, when you're on grass, you need the confidence of the sport. So the Tour Alpha, as we originally, it's a must for me.
Yeah.
It's so I'm looking forward to seeing what this says, because anecdotally it's it'd be great to play in a tennis shoe. As I said, my feet have to work well. Everything's great about it, but then when I get to the golf course,
Well, a couple of the key points for you would be arch height. Now, that's clearly linked to your insoles. I mean, Tour Alpha, if anything, offers you a bit more arch support than, say, a Contour would do.
Okay.
Where you're saying your feet get a bit achy after hitting a few shots barefoot.
Yeah.
It's probably related to your arch and the fact that it's got no support, so gradually what happens is it collapses.
Okay.
And again, Tour Alpha, where it certainly comes in for you with you having a real quite high instep, is you need the volume of that shoe. So again, if you went into traditions, for example, much shallower over the instep. So again, if you've ever tried them in the past, they're probably quite tight. Premier Series maybe also the same sort of feel.
So would I, if I was wearing them, would I kind of push out through them too quickly, wouldn't I? If I'm putting too much pressure on the end.
Really, it would be more depth of foot. So from here, this is where you'd find those shoes a little tighter, which Tour Alpha, you know, the more athletic, like Pro SLX, even Hyperflex potentially, offer you a little bit more comfort in that area. But I'll be interested, we do have some Premier Series there, and I'll be interested to see how you feel over the top of your feet, because again, once you then can't tie it properly, that also impacts your balance and your performance there. So it'd be great to get some feedback. We try some shoes, got some shots.
We want both, as in I do want comfort, and there's no doubt that at my age, 53 years of age, when we're walking around the golf course, you know, you're very focused. I don't wear metal spikes anymore because my feet are tired if I wear metal spikes. So you are focused on your comfort, but I still want the performance.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you turned around to me and said this is the best performing shoe, and it gave me an extra mile an hour, and you turned around and said, well, this one for 1 mile less is the easiest on you.
Yep. You're gonna go.
I'd probably take the 1 mile an hour. I don't know. I'm not sure.
The mile an hour, is that really in your studio that you're finding that? It's not actually outdoors on the course?
Well, it's definitely not outdoors. I can't, outdoors, I when you get on real grass, and different conditions, when there's a bit of moisture in the grass, I can't understand how
Of you've got a lot of footwork as well.
But I don't know how anybody plays in tennis shoes. I look at them and go, how do you play like that? Now, clearly some people are suited to it, and as I said, my feet work very well on a mat in tennis shoes. In those flat soles.
Nice flat soles.
Yeah, they work great, and I can look at them. Obviously, we'll do this with the thing, hopefully with the force plates and that. Anecdotally, I can see the pressures are better.
Yep.
In the tennis shoe, but when I go to the golf course,
you may find a tennis shoe comfortable for a hole or two, but once you start really getting into the round and you're all over the place in terms of different lines, it's not really for you, sort of stability.
Look, if it went once in 72 hole tournaments, it's not good enough for me. Everything is going to. I'd be interested to see, as I said, everything may lead one direction, but I need the Tour Alpha. I'm telling you, like at the end, I need that belief of the support. That I just need to make sure that when I'm swinging the golf club, I ain't going to slip.
We're great to go and test out this. What I'll aim to do, Paddy, is we'll give you just a like for like in terms of sizing, and then we can throw a couple of.
So I did notice with the contour and my insoles, there definitely isn't a room in this shoe.
Yeah.
But I think the Alpha has enough room for the insoles.
Yeah, the overall volume for you and that will be hugely different to what Tour Alpha is.
Yeah.
I think the two closest will be Tour Alpha and Pro SLX, possibly throw in Hyperflex. I think that's, if you want to look at Premier Series, I'd be concerned with the overall volume that gives you once your insole's in it. And that in turn kind of affects the stability at the back of the foot as well. We have had a few guys playing that shoe over the last sort of 6 months. I think Dan Brown was another who he'd been struggling with his knees. But again, the conversations we've had with him, Paddy, was actually between him and his physio, the belief of he does need an insole because he's starting to feel it inside the knee. So if we can correct that and hope support that arch a little more, then the theory should be that then helps his knee injury. So,
even there, like I can see just by putting the shoe on, I'm a little bit more aggressive with my leg. There was a little bit of a jump out of impact. So
would that be from a mental point of view? You feel now you can now be more aggressive through the swing?
I don't think I can dig and push as hard in the bare feet because there would be hang on a second, if you slip here, maybe it's even just burning my foot. But it's not as I said, it's not a bad way to get the right motions going. But as I said, even with that first one there, I can feel myself now. Okay, I can start going at it more.
I think from a fitting perspective, there's definitely, I really believe the fit's important, but I do think there's a mental aspect, the right fit as well. Because if you feel like you're moving around, you then can't exert the same forces.
I put these on now, and again, just because I'm on a mat, they're just perfect here. I just feel, oh yeah, this is good. I basically feel like I have the right amount of stability and movement right now in these. But as I said, once I took them to the grass, you know, I just went static.
Okay.
Which might even made it even tougher, because when your feet stay still, it's actually harder to be balanced.
Yep.
I know that seems to be God, we're missing all these 190 balls.
I was just going to say it's a stripe show, isn't it?
The two things, if you're looking for me, the difference for me is I'll have a bit of roll, and you'll see that when I get, and then in the downswing, I want to stay longer with that and less of that. So I don't want that to happen early. It will happen through impact, but I want to be as much like that in the downswing as I can get.
But on the backswing, you do want that
the backswing
into the right heel?
I will roll, but I don't think I roll in my bare feet or in these as much as I will in the Tour Alpha, because I know in the Tour Alpha the back heel is supporting me, so
the wider sole.
I do go and then I come back. So look at that.
So Tour Alpha being the game and shoot, and then we'll, Paddy, for me what I'm going to do is we'll give you two styles, one being the correct fit, one being too big, and just see what you feel that does. Again, what I would imagine it'll do is almost go back to barefoot / contour probably.
Yeah, there's no doubt in this with my insole, I'm pushed up too much into the upper.
Right.
Just does not.
So long-term comfort for you at that point would be
just I'd have to go a size wider probably on these.
Would you carry? Obviously, you've got the medium and wide fit. Would you carry both of them with you to events? Or
no, I'm not changing around like that. That was just the medium wide, just as a legacy of.
Okay. And what is about Tour Alpha then? You feel gives you that element of performance?
It really does come down to the sole.
Okay.
You know, I find them very comfortable. You know, they're pretty lightweight. There's, you know, you're not really getting light. I'm sure you can get lighter, but like practicality wise, they're light, comfortable to wear around. But for me, it's the stability.
And does that where would that rank in your history of wearing FootJoy shoes? Where does that sit for you?
I would say I don't like, if we went way back to a FootJoy Classic, obviously it's night and day in my head. You know, if you ask me, that was the legacy of here's a leather shoe and we'll put 9 spikes in it or 7 spikes, whatever it was at the time. These are designed for golf.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. This is designed for performance. I want to be the best. So I need something psychologically that is not, hey, here's a running shoe, we're going to stick some spikes in it. Here's a football boot, we're going to stick some spikes in it. There's some crazy stuff you see going on. You go, oh, hang on a sec, this couldn't be right. Whereas I know FootJoy, this is their job, this is their survival, to make a performance shoe. Whether this particular performance suits an individual or not, I'm not sure, but I know for me it's going to be, this has got everything you can have in a shoe performance-wise. And I know I've been part of it over the years, so I know a little bit more. That gives me confidence, but also I'd be shocked if you can tell me that this isn't the right shoe for me. Because I you know, from everything I've done, stability is very important for me. Trying to keep, you know, we were told years ago, you know, trying to keep as much, you know, if you're going to push that hard, you know, and the backswing, you're pushing incredibly, like as I whip that club back, like from this point in my backswing, I am pushing hard this way, like a very early push back. And then once you're in that transition, like you're giving it such a push in there. I just don't understand how people can do it in other. I can understand how you can work your feet and get a feel for it, but if you're truly going after it, you want that. Well, for me, I want that stability. Yeah. I know other players. I remember back in the day, there was another player, and he just couldn't play in a stable shoe because he actually his impact position, he rolled his ankle. Now, I think, I'd be interested to see, I didn't see the other videos, I didn't feel. But if you watch my foot action there, so I used to hate my foot action because when I take the club away, I'm in good posture, and when I take the club away, you'll see often my knees will drop. Okay, so if you actually took a picture of my posture at this stage, it's unathletic. But now that I watch all the long drive guys, that's exactly what's happening in the long drive guys. So if you watch me, as I take that club away, I push into my left foot before. So I push. So the long guys do this, but I'm even doing it. I push and go. And at times you will actually see I push and go, and that foot actually gives a little tap. So this, I actually do the long drive thing unconsciously. That heel, I'll push and that heel comes up. But if you push here, that will give you the right movement off the club. So we're going back to the old guys here. The old guys, when they took it away, it was very simple. They had the press, and that press gives you the pull away, which you want a little bit of a pulling up. Obviously, you don't want to keep going. We never want that angle, but you want to get that shift so that then you can. So the minute I shift, push, I push, and the minute I get back here, I'm starting to push forward. So it's 3 pushes in it. Let's see. So I feel like I did that more when I went into the Tour Alpha.
Okay.
You can see the little jump, the little right foot step. Oh.
But again, if we revert that back to like a mesh running type shoe, provides no stability for you to again push back off the ground, does it?
Well, this is it. The minute I've got in this shoe, I can feel I want to do that more in the backswing. Whereas with my bare feet or the tennis shoe, there was an element of, yeah, they worked well, but there wasn't the same pressure.
Yep.
You know, it's very much the sole. We have these little, on the outside, we have these little, I'm not sure what you call the spikes that come out. It just gives you the feeling that, hang on a second here, I can push. Now, I'll still have a little roll in there, but I'm pushing in hard, it's not going to go on me. So I can dig in that way, which is, it's not just psychological, it is actually practical.
There's a few things, Paddy, with that. It's a moulded heel unit,
yeah.
So first of all, stabilises the heel. You've then got that A-frame that under the heel gives you the response to what you're telling us, stamping almost into the ground. It responds to that movement, yeah. And it's obviously far more stable than just leaving that as a sort of full foam lining.
I take it for granted, but as we know, a lot of times when you look at a shoe like this, most people go, God, that's a big heel. But it's actually, we're low in the shoe.
Yeah.
So the people might think that you actually have an inch of foam in here and your heel is actually up like a high heel, but it's actually the opposite. Your foot is sitting into that.
Yep.
So you're actually lower down than certainly lower than you would think, and lower than most people would realise. So clearly you're closer to the ground.
Yeah, like a big thing, particularly with running, is the heel to toe drop and then the stack height. The heel to toe drop, if we give you all of these shoes, would be within a millimetre of each other. Yeah, they're actually that close.
Yeah.
And again, that is a huge impact on how you can use the ground. So if you don't mind, I'm going to give you Pro SLX. It's the exact same last as what you're in right now, but obviously it's a spikeless unit. So I'd be interested to see how you then feel through the swing.
This would be interesting because we're now going halfway between the tennis shoe and the performance shoe.
I mean, I would class this, it's still very much a performance shoe for us, so you'll see.
Yeah, no, I realise it's the performance, but it's like tennis shoe is a nice marker for people who want to drive their car home for golf. No problem, people will always want that. This is, if you're a serious golfer, I assume its stability suits you, this is a performance shoe. And when we say stability, I have to warn you, stability is movement of your feet. It's not staying still.
Yep.
It's being able to move into positions and being able to hold the pressure in those positions rather than it giving.
I think for a lot of people, they still misinterpret stability as traction. Stability for me is that lateral part of the shoe. So the last, whether you've got that sort of heel unit in Tour Alpha or that stabiliser through Pro SLX, I'd be interested to see what you feel in the back of the foot in particular versus your Tour Alpha.
So, fight back to that well, I'm curious now. Sorry, I am curious because, as I said, I was sneakily thinking, oh, maybe I could use a tennis shoe life's easy if you, as I said, you put it on your hotel room and you go to the golf course and drive the car, do whatever you want. And as I said, I felt my feet worked well in the tennis shoes, but the minute I went to put on the speed, the power, I slipped. I slipped, not just, I lost confidence then, but this might be the happy medium. My initial feeling is super comfortable.
Okay.
They've given me, when I look down, I've gone, which is quite, it looks like a normal shoe put on the base of a different shoe.
Yep.
It's the sole is quite wide. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see how this performs.
Okay.
This is actually different.
And it's not one you've tried before?
No.
No. Okay.
This is definitely. They're nice. Are they a little lighter?
They will be. So I know you mentioned Tour Alpha being light. I think compared to older golf shoes across the range, they're all lighter. That would still be what I'd class as the sort of slightly heavier duty shoe, and that all comes from the sole unit. So again, you remove that from Pro SLX, that's really where the difference will come from. Same upper, you'd have a really lightweight, soft Stratofoam midsole, which gives you the cushioning.
Yeah.
So again, that's the sort of real call-out differences between the two shoes.
Same depth in the heel.
Exactly the same. So everything internally. So the biggest difference for any amateur golfer that I'll speak to is they'll look at the shoe from the sole unit.
Yes.
Now the heel to toe drop is all internal. So you could go and stand an extra 2 inches internally or from the outsole, but internally the shoe is exactly the same.
Yeah, that's okay.
How important is how the shoe looks for you though, Paddy? Is it all really around how it performs?
Okay, there is 3 things. Performance, comfort, look.
Okay.
I would put, like if you turned around and found me a pair of shoes that were performing and I'm 2 miles an hour quicker in those shoes, I would figure out how to make them work. So I think performance is number 1 for me. Because I'm old, I think comfort is number 2. Okay. You know, being able to get around, I don't want my legs to be sore after 14, 15 holes. You know, you're going around the desert courses and things like that. So comfort, and modern golf courses have carpet paths, you know, so we do a lot of walking on that sort of hard ground. So yeah, comfort is number 2. Comfort's really nice. It's a real nice bonus. Performance 1, comfort's number 2. This is where 53 and 23 differs. I'm sure the 23-year-old is trying to figure out, is probably putting style ahead of, he doesn't have to worry about comfort, does he? He's 23 years of age, so. I like the feel of them, and I'm hoping that they perform as good. So I don't know, I don't know if it's the wrong word. I trust my Tour Alpha. Trust my Tour Alpha explicitly. I don't believe anybody has a better shoe for performing than the Tour Alpha. So you're trying to get me, you know, do I want to go somewhere? I need some, it's like one of those things. For me to change my shoe, you've got to find something better. I'm not going to go with something the same because I have full trust in the Tour Alpha. I don't believe anybody has a better shoe than that for me. So this, yeah, you could have got something in here. Now I'll do testing as well, and you know, we'll put it into, you know, performance and then take it to the golf course and see. But there's certainly
what I'm going to do, Paddy, quickly, I'm going to give you a wrong size.
Okay.
I just want to get your feedback from 2 or 3 shots max.
okay.
What's the biggest difference you feel? And then I want to finish off with the Hyperflex like you've just mentioned, because I know we've got Steve waiting upstairs for you, which is going to be a really interesting conversation, I think. This isn't going to be, we're not thinking this is an option for you, but I just want to get your feedback as to maybe what you feel different. as you hit some shots.
You've put this into a wide shoe, have you?
Yes.
I'm swimming.
Okay. So it's half a size bigger than maybe what you'd be used to, but it's also wide. So what I find out in the road would be the majority of golfers will wear the wrong size, and it may well be that they go for a longer shoe, for example, that's too wide and too long. So this is a little bit of both for you right now.
Yeah, I'm swimming.
Yep.
My toes are swimming in here.
So again, if you can hit maybe 1 or 2 shots and just see how
I've
that
got
impacts.
I've got the upper tied in properly, so I feel comfortable right now. But I would worry that, you know,
that tap,
as the lace
making it move.
loosens on the course, you know, it would. Yeah, look, say you're 2 miles an hour faster in the right shoe. That equates to 3 miles an hour ball speed. They used to say that was 7.5 yards, 2.5. We'll go with 6 yards, okay? So 10 yards, every 10 yards down the fairway further, or 10 yards further in the same condition is worth 0.1 of a shot. To a pro, it's probably worth more to an amateur. So if we say you hit 14 tee shots and that was, say you hit it 10 yards further 14 times, well, that's 1.4 shots. As a pro, you're better. Full stop stroke gains, as long as it's in the same condition it would have been in. So if you hit 14 times in the rough and then you hit it 10 yards further 14 times in the rough, you're 1.4 shots better as a player. It's just, that's what they've measured that in strokes gained. It's 0.1 for every 10 yards. It's the easiest way for amateurs to improve. They don't need to. The only amateur or the only player who can't improve by hitting it further is the one who is, and there's plenty of these who can only play golf from the fairway, are obsessed about being in the fairway, really get down on themselves by being out of position or can't handle being out of position. And there's lots of them. I've seen loads of pros lose their game by trying to hit it further because their personality doesn't like, you know, they want to add up, I hit 13 fairways today, which, you know, we've kind of shown the 13 fairways. Hitting fairways is kind of, is not, it's nice, but it's not the goal of the game. It's scoring as low as you can. But some players are stuck in that mode, and that's their personality, and that's why they're good golfers, and I wouldn't change, you can't change them. So for other players, and most amateurs, hitting it 10 yards further down a fairway is massive difference. Because again, you know, how many amateurs like hitting, you know, the difference between hitting a 5-iron and a 6-iron can be quite significant mentally to them into a hole, or hitting a, you know, 7-iron to an 8-iron. Every club that they go down one less, they feel more comfortable, they score better with. So yeah, if it's in there and it's easy to get, why not?
This is the last shoe for you, Paddy. So what's more athletic? Certainly cushioning, very soft, but would that be,
Yeah.
would this be one you would essentially look at testing then? It's Pro Select, sorry, this one here.
Yes,
Yep.
I would definitely test that.
What would testing look like for you then? Would that be, you know, in the garden sort of thing, and then out in the...
Testing is straightforward for me. It's take it in here, hit it, look at it, look how it's performing, look at it on force plates, look at it on raw speed.
Right.
And if I feel that they're all good, then it's take it to the golf course.
So the similarities with the shoe you've just taken off, again, we've got sort of technology called Stratofoam, which is a sort of slow energy releasing foam. So rather than giving you a running trainer that's like really very quick to react, this is a sort of slow responding foam. So the idea behind that is comfortable, but it doesn't tire you out. But that's where a lot of the cushioning will come from. Obviously, we've got a kind of knitted mesh, so what should feel a little softer, essentially a bit more stretch. And
I think that's where I'm getting the trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see where you rank this, maybe hit a few shots and then rank it from barefoot to Tour Alpha and everything in between.
I think I've hit the white line, guys. Look at that. That is. Oh, I can't do that. These feel different.
Okay, where are you feeling
So,
that? Is that underfoot or is it more over and around your foot?
I'm feeling it more in the upper.
Okay.
I'm feeling.
And that ultimately is the biggest difference because we've gone from leather shoes.
I'm feeling softer in the upper.
Yep. So to you, does that then change the stability aspect for you then?
I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking. You know, am I able to push and squeeze and do all the things you want to do?
I'll be honest, this wasn't a shoe that would be on your
Yeah.
radar whatsoever. But
No,
it's interesting to get your
I'm
feedback.
I'm thinking though, that's what I said. It could be obviously we're asking questions, but all of a sudden I've become conscious of
Very aware of
what's happening there. I didn't have that going from the Alpha. Okay, contour definitely is different than the Alpha to, sorry,
Pro SLX.
what's it called?
Pro SLX.
The Pro SLX. I didn't have, visually I had a difference, but when I was hitting I didn't feel a
Okay.
difference.
Like I say, this wasn't necessarily a shoe I would
Yeah.
expect you to want to go into, but certainly it was great to get
I'm
even just
trying
a
to figure out
comparison.
like obviously all the other shoes I was conscious of what's happening with this shoe. It's like alarm bells are going off in my head. Like
Okay.
when I was the tennis shoe, the Contour, it's great for a mat.
Okay.
You know, it's making your feet work hard. It's giving you enough support. Like I burn in bare feet, I can burn my soles of my feet by twisting on this. So they can be used for practice, but they're not for me on the golf course.
Okay.
I definitely go with these on the golf course before the tennis shoe. Definitely, they are providing support. They're very comfortable. They're very soft. They're trendy like me. So yeah. Now what's been interesting is, look, I love my Tour Alpha. I trust, which is a huge part.
Yeah.
I trust them. They perform. But you have thrown a spanner in the work with the Pro SLX. You definitely have. Again, they're going to be tested.
Okay.
They're going to be worked at. That there is. I don't know what it is about it. It's the wider sole certainly attracts me. As I said, we do know the bigger the base, the more power you can get back out.
Yeah.
So you know, in the end of the day, the wider sole attracts me. They felt great on my feet. The uppers were the exact same as the Tour Alpha, as far as I was concerned. The heel's a little different, but still deep, which is important.
And the stability around the heel for you was a big thing.
Yeah, well, I think the heel on the Tour Alpha is maybe a little firmer, but both of them are low,
Yeah.
which is great. I felt the heel on the Pro SLX was more encompassing. Wider sole means that maybe I could do even without soft spikes. Maybe there's a speed thing to be tested in that. The great thing for me is I already have a shoe, so no matter what happens here,
It's benchmark.
I just don't slip in the Pro S in the Tour Alpha. I just haven't slipped, you know, and I can push as hard as I want. I can do all the stepping drills and movement drills, slope drills. So the Pro SLX has a lot to live up to, but I will try it.